Recurrent coughs and cold, recurrent respiratory infection. That means I have seen patients every month you get infections, coughs, cold, the child will be put on antibiotic, and next month again. This keeps on repeating with children and kids. So in between the interval period, either the child will be recovered fully or the child will have chronic nasal congestion which is persisting throughout. This is a very common scenario. Do you know any kids or children with this similar situation? Have you ever seen around? So in this kids or children, are we missing something? Or will there be any cause which is leading to this sort of recurrent respiratory infections? I will give an example. I will just demonstrate an example of a 7-year-old girl. She came to me with a history of recurrent respiratory infections. So when I asked her mother, she even had 2 to 3 episodes of hospitalization. She was admitted with LRT pneumonia. She was given IV antibiotics. Okay, then I asked her, did she have any other complaint except for those recurrent respiratory infections? So her most important complaint was recurrent respiratory infection. Then I asked her, did she have any other complaint about her kid other than those respiratory infection? Then she told her second most distressing problem was bedwetting. Like each night she used to at least pass pee for 2 to 3 times. She's a 7-year-old girl. It was so much distressing for her parent. So I asked about her sleep history. So in sleep history, she told that child had recurrent tossing and turning over. She used to roll around in her beds. She had very bad snoring and she had teeth grinding. But I realized that she thought either this was not a problem or she was asleep so that she didn't notice. Then when I asked about teeth grinding, she told it was there. She used to clench her teeth and she used to grind her teeth at night. So most of the parents think teeth grinding and clenching her teeth during night is a normal phenomenon. Let me tell you, this is related to sleep disordered breathing. It indicates that breath and airway is not normal during her sleep. Okay, then I knew that she told me a lot of complaints. Then she is here in front of me, a 7-year-old girl. Here is she. So what I could find that her mandible is very small, it is ill developed. She had proclined teeth. She has almost incompetent lips and not properly developed, almost deficient maxilla. Then what I did is I asked her to collect all her previous photographs. So when she showed her almost 6 months age photograph and I compared, then I realized that her mandible has not at all grown. When she was born around 6 months, she had a beautiful wide mandible, but when we compare with 7 years, she had almost small mandible. When we compare her eyes, she had very vibrant eyes during childhood, and now we could find dullness around her eyes. She had very flattened cheekbones. Her face itself looked tired. So when we compare 6 months and this photo here, she turned around 1, you can realize that she had very hypotonic upper lips. Her lower lips started everting out. She had an open mouth posture, and when she was growing at her 4 years only, she had long face, she had ill-developed jaws, flattened maxillas. By the age of 2, she continued to breathe her mouth. Her lips became more and more incompetent and everted. Like when she was growing, it actually continued. By the age she reached 7, her face had become longer and it appeared no longer when she was at 6 months of her age. So now she is 7.5 years old. See, her teeth are not aligned properly. Her teeth are crooked. She had still hypotonic lips, everted lower lips, hypotonic upper lips, and her face isn't properly. So all those features continue to happen. Okay, then what I did is I called the girl and I examined. When I examined, I could find there is a grade 4 tongue tie, there is a grade 2 upper lip tie, and there was adenoids, there was tonsils, and she had very dull face, and her posture was also altered. Her spinal posture was also altered. So we did functional frenuloplasty for her upper lip tie and tongue tie. Adenotonsillectomy was done for her adenoids and tonsils, followed by airway and face growth guidance, which improved her airway dimensions and craniofacial muscle function. 1 year after the procedure, we could get back her beautiful old round white face. Okay, so when you compare before and after, like she came at around 7 years of age, when you compare, we can realize the difference. Her mandible has grown. So when you ask her symptoms, her sleep became normal within 3 months. The rate of respiratory tract infections, it also came down very normally. Like the counts, actually it came down almost 1 to 2 in a year. So what we realize is just adenotonsillectomy alone won't help this kid. We did a lot of procedures to improve her muscle functions. We did adenotonsillectomy. All this together should happen for proper results and to prevent recurrence of the condition.